States attacked Iran at that time. I think what we're finding here then is that there is mixed signals about what exactly the United States wants. Remember, 2 months ago, it was supposed to be about human rights. Then it became about regime change. The negotiations are about nuclear curtailment. And now we find that the President of the United States early in the morning said that this is about ballistic missiles. So it doesn't seem as though there is any coherent plan other than to inflict as much damage as possible on a sovereign country like Iran.
So, Saeed, what will you be looking next? And is there an off-ramp at any time soon, or is this going to be a drawn-out military conflict that could also involve a number of other countries in the region?
Well, it already is, of course, involving several other countries, the Gulf states that were targeted really because of the U.S. military presence there, whether it's the naval base for the U.S. Fifth Fleet in Bahrain, U.S. CENTCOM in Qatar, the servicing of military assets in the UAE, as well as in Kuwait. And also to remember that these countries, some of them were complicit in allowing their airspace to be used by Israel and by the United States to then launch these attacks upon Iran. So what I'll be looking for is going to be an escalation, or to see at what level this is ratcheting up, and to see then if Iran's reaction and retaliation is going to be proportionate to that. And again, when you're talking about on-ramps, I don't know if the United States has really specified at which stage it wants to on-ramp. What do the metrics of success really looking at? Because if it is regime change, I think that we're in for a very protracted war. That's not going to be something that is achieved, nor should it be achieved according to international law, either by the external use of force or by any kind of internal insurgency from within Iran. Reza Pahlavi is not something that is really palatable for people. We have the 1953 overthrow of Democratic Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh in Iran. The idea of regime change by coercion, the idea of regime change under even this pretense of liberation is not something that is going to suit the Iranian people. Their understanding of agency, their understanding of change and reform is going to be from within and within their own terms.
And Saeed, I have to tell you, there's a lot of Iranians in Iran, Iranians outside of Iran, that wanted this war because they said it's time for change. It's time for a different type of government that is not oppressing its own people.
Well, I think that when you look at the so-called Iranian diaspora, it's not really a coincidence that we're going to find a lot of fervor out there, because many of these people left in 1979, and subsequently they may have been in fact loyal to the former monarch, and therefore they are now transferring their allegiance to his son, Reza Pahlavi. There are some very legitimate and some very reasonable disputes and frustrations regarding the Iranian regime currently, its ineffectiveness, its allegations of corruption, and people are certainly inveighing against that. But at the same time, there is also a more sophisticated narrative to this, which recognizes that the Iranian government has essentially been under siege and under a compression of crippling international sanctions, crippling embargoes, and yet at the same time, understanding that this is a regime that had acted in good faith, that even despite the fact that the United States withdrew from the Iran nuclear deal under Obama, that they came back to the negotiation table, knowing full well that the result might be, again, a betrayal and an act of deception, as now it's proven to be.